Coming up, we're talking the Lucas late model weekend at Golden Isles. There's news from Blake Hahn, plus other weekend results. Let's go. Today is Monday, January 31st, 2022. Welcome into Dirt Tracker Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series weekend at Golden Isles has wrapped up, but Speed Weeks continues to roll along starting tonight at Bubba Raceway Park. On Friday and Saturday night in Georgia, Brandon Overton made up for that Thursday night DQ in qualifying by winning both features and grabbing $27,000 in cash. Thursday night's winner, Devin Moran, led the first half of Friday's feature from the pole, but Overton was just really good. He slipped by Moran on lap 27 and led the rest of the way. On the final lap, Hudson O'Neal tried to steal one running the top side, but Moran threw a block at the line to finish second, with O'Neal settling for third. O'Neal was the only Lucas regular to finish on the podium all weekend long. The story on Saturday night for the 50-lap finale was basically the same, just with a different early leader. Kyle Larson sat on the pole in the Rumley 6 and was out front for the first 27 laps, but again, Brandon Overton was on the move. He started 5th and stalked the 6 car through halfway, finally taking control of the race on lap 28. And over the final half of the feature, Moran tried to keep the 76 honest, but couldn't really mount a real challenge. Overton drove away to the win, with Moran second and Larson finishing third. Friday and Saturday were one hell of a way to bounce back for Big Sexy after that Thursday penalty for the droop rule. He's showing early on that he hasn't lost anything from last season and what he was able to accomplish. And it was a very good weekend for Moran, picking up the Thursday win along with seconds on Friday and Saturday. He's the Lucas points leader after the first 3 nights, and his 9 machine wears that orange spoiler, with Ocala up next starting tonight. Larson had issues on Friday and ended up with a DNF, but finished third on Thursday and Saturday. Brandon Shepard, Jonathan Davenport, and Tim McCready all picked up top 10 finishes each night as well. Remember through these opening races that only a driver's best 5 races will be counted for the point standings going forward. So some guys that didn't have great weekends, people like Ricky Thornton Jr., Hudson O'Neal, Kyle Bronson, those guys won't necessarily be hurt by this going forward, especially if they're able to get hot later on in speed weeks. And of the guys we expect to run for the championship, Tim McCready is the only one in the top 5 in the standings after these first 3 nights, and only 4 of the top 10 spots are held down by those full-timers. Coming up tonight, it's the first of 2 shows at Bubba Raceway Park in Ocala, Florida. In 2021, Ricky Thornton Jr. grabbed 1 win and Shane Clanton the other. And over the 2 nights, Bobby Pierce actually had the best average finish, sitting at 5th, but he's not expected to race this week. We'll see if Thornton can bounce back at Ocala and get his speed weeks going in the right direction. These 2 race nights were not on some of these guys' schedules, so I'm not sure I'd expect to see Davenport tonight. I don't think Owens had it on his schedule originally either, but it's on his website now, so we'll have to see if he shows up. And then I wouldn't expect Overton or Larson tonight or tomorrow either. But there will still be plenty of talent between the Lucas regulars, like McCready and Urban O'Neal and all the others. As for win picks, the formula likes McCready for tonight, and I'm going to go with Moran. He had a killer weekend at Golden Isles, and over his last 10 Lucas starts, he's got 8 top 6 finishes and an average finish of 4.9. And so far this season, the formula is 0-4 in win picks. I'm 1 for 4. I got the Friday night pick right with Overton, but I picked Shepard on Saturday night just to be something different, and obviously didn't get that one correct. Hopefully we can bounce back tonight with some better picks. If you can't be at the track, MapTV Plus will have live coverage tonight. And coming off the ASCS National Tour Championship in 2021, Blake Hahn will be back to defend that crown this season. Back on Friday, it was announced that Hahn will return to the series, now owned by Terry Maddox, and he joins Brandon Anderson and Garrett Williamson as drivers confirmed for the full run in 2022. And on top of that full ASCS slate, Hahn and his team will add some 410 racing to the mix as well, joining up periodically with the new POWRi 410 series that's running the Midwest, along with possible weekly shows at Knoxville and maybe even some Outlaw starts. They could potentially run as many as 90 events this year. That's a serious amount of racing. In looking at Blake's resume, I'm actually a little shocked that he hasn't run any Outlaw shows before. I went and looked. He made 5 appearances with the All-Stars in 2020 with a best finish of 12th at Red Dirt Raceway, but I have no Outlaw races in the DirtTracker.com database for him, and I don't see any on his page at thethirdturn.com. He's had plenty of speed and success in that 360. He's been really good at the Chili Bowl, but I'm surprised no Outlaw starts. hopefully we get to see him at some of those Outlaw shows this year, watch him kind of build that 410 program up. I think he'd be a really solid addition to some of these other series. Out in Arizona over the weekend, it was a banner 3 days to start the USAC CRA season for the Demon, Damien Gardner. He picked up 3 opening season wins for the series at Cocopah Speedway. Back on Thursday, it was career win number 90. Friday night, it was number 91. That came over Tommy Malcolm and Chase Johnson. And on Saturday night, he made it a clean weekend sweep for career win number 92. He topped Eddie Tafoya Jr. and Matt Mitchell. He's obviously leading the series point standings now after this opening weekend. The Sprint Car Series goes quiet now for about a month. They're going to be back racing on March 4th at Thunderbolt Speedway in Tulare, California, and March 5th at the Keller Auto Speedway in Hanford. If you're a fan out west, make sure to keep up with them on Twitter at USAC_CRA. Over the weekend at East Bay, Seth Geary was the modified winner on Friday night. He couldn't race earlier in the week because of his day job, but rolled into the track on Friday and bagged a Winter Nationals victory over Tyler Nicely and Victor Lee. And on Saturday night, it was Victor Lee who left with a $5,000 check after the 75-lap Winter Nationals main event. It was his second win of the week at East Bay, and he dominated the final 59 laps to secure the win over Kevin Adams and Geary. The early season racing for UMP Modifieds continues this coming weekend at North Florida Speedway for 3 more nights. And as for East Bay, the track is quiet today and tomorrow, with racing picking back up again on Wednesday night. They've got 604 and 602 late models through Saturday night. You can find more information about the Winter Nationals at East Bay by visiting ebrp.co. Yesterday on the YouTube channel, I dropped a new video that is something a little bit different than you've seen me do. I've done the daily shows, the conversations episodes, but this new video is more kind of an explainer, and I wanted to dive a little deeper into one subject. In this specific one, I walk you through an overview of the dirt late model world kind of as a whole. We talk about the big series, we talk about some history, which drivers race where. I think a big barrier to entry for new fans for dirt racing is where do they start? Because there's so much to watch, there's so much to know and understand. And I think even so for seasoned fans, there's a ton of nuance, there's a ton of things that can kind of get confusing pretty easily. And something that was kind of showed this to me, I posted in the past on some of my social media channels asking for people to pick, series champions for the year, what their predictions were. And people end up responding with drivers that don't even race those series full time. And I think that's a problem. Those folks are big enough fans that they follow my stuff and they wanted to actually comment on what I posted, but they don't understand who races where. I definitely think that's an issue for the sport. So this is a first of probably some more educational type videos I want to do to kind of help that situation. If you're a hardcore fan, there's a decent chance that you won't find anything new in these new shows, but don't worry if you do watch, I certainly won't tell any of your late model buddies. I've got plans in the future to add some similar videos for the open wheel side as well. Drop a comment, let me know if there's something along these lines you'd like to learn or know more about in dirt racing so we can kind of expand that content there on the YouTube channel. There are 3 shows on today's streaming schedule. Dirt Vision has the iRacing World of Outlaws World Championship finale from the dirt track at Charlotte. Very close championship battle there to pay attention to. MAV TV Plus has the Lucas late models from Bubba Raceway Park, like I mentioned, and there is Flow Racing 24/7. To see the full daily streaming schedule with links to watch, visit dirttracker.com/watch tonight. That's it for the show today. Hope you have a good Monday. If you have thoughts about the topics on today's show, please leave them in the comments below or tweet at me. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow for more Dirt Tracker Daily.